Tensions are rising in Labour after the Health Secretary Wes Streeting criticised the government's technocratic approach, saying it risks making Labour look like the maintenance department.
Yes, his remarks come amid speculation that he might challenge the leadership of Sir Keir Starmer. Of course, something he denies.
Meanwhile, pressure is growing on the Energy Secretary Ed Miliband after the EU dropped its ban on new petrol cars. That was meant to come in 2030, do you remember? And now it's left us in a position where the UK is the only country in Europe that is going to stop selling petrol and diesel cars in 2030.
Well, we're joined now by news editor at the Press Association, Theo Usherwood. Good morning to you, Theo.
Good morning to you both.
Should we start with Wes Streeting criticising Labour's leadership style? What do you make of it?
Well, I've just been going through the Daily Telegraph, and there are no fewer than three prominent Labour MPs, ministers, who are doing soft interviews with the paper. Of course, speculation rife, and understandably so, that there will be a move against Keir Starmer for the Labour leadership, probably after the local elections. So those who are in contention are trying to raise their profile. I've got some sympathy with Wes Streeting with his diagnosis. I think if you look at, and this is something that I've heard repeatedly, if you look at the performances of Keir Starmer, he often comes across as very wooden and unable to connect in a way that I think many of Wes Streeting's supporters certainly believe that he could. If you're looking ahead to the next general election and you're seeing the threat of Nigel Farage and you're a Labour MP or a Labour member,
there's nothing more important than keeping your money and your identity safe online. And with so many VPN options available, choosing the right one can be pretty daunting. But this video's sponsor, ExpressVPN, is making the choice easier for GB News viewers. ExpressVPN is offering up to 75% off, plus 4 extra months free. That's top-level security from just £2.49 a month, and you're covered by their 30-day money-back guarantee. So just click the link in this video's description or scan the QR code now. Remember, when you're online, you are often sharing personal data, so hackers can steal your information, your passwords, your photos, and your bank details in just seconds. But ExpressVPN encrypts your connection, making it virtually impossible for hackers to access your personal information. So why choose ExpressVPN? Well, it couldn't be easier to use. With just one click, you are protected. And ExpressVPN uses military-grade AES 256 encryption, which is the same standard trusted by the US government to guard their classified information. With their new tiered plans, you can protect up to 14 devices at once and manage passwords securely. Live chat support is available 24/7, and it typically connects you in under a minute with a real person. Click the link in this video's description or scan the QR code to get up to 75% off ExpressVPN, plus 4 months extra for free. Start protecting yourself today with ExpressVPN.
And you're seeing the threat on the left from Zach Polanski. You need somebody who is going to be there at perhaps the head-to-head debates, who can come up with answers really quickly.
A bit more robust.
And a bit more robust, and somebody who can make people think twice about voting for those parties, whether it be with Mr Polanski or with Mr Farage. And I think many Labour MPs understand that Wes Streeting, when they look at Wes Streeting, they compare him to Keir Starmer. He compares very favourably in the way that he is able to perform on the media.
I mean, the interesting thing is with this, we know Wes Streeting denies going for the leadership and all the rest of it, but clearly the gloves are off.
Of course the gloves are off, and there's a recognition that Keir Starmer's time is limited. Labour MPs can't allow for the party to sort of bumble along at 15-16% right up until the general election, and then get to the general election and expect a different result, a miraculous result, when voters go to the polls, whether it be in 2027 or 2028. They know that they need to turn it around, and if Keir Starmer is unable to turn it around, then they need to look for an alternative. The only word of caution, of course, is that Keir Starmer will be able to stand in any contest. Number 10 have been adamant that he would stand in any contest. So it's different to the Conservative the constant change of leader we saw there. It's harder to do. And Wes Streeting, of course, is seen as being on the right of the Labour Party, and there will be many Labour MPs who, of course, would favour somebody like Angela Rayner. Angela Rayner has kept her cards very close to her chest and hasn't said whether she's going to back Wes Streeting. But it will, I would imagine, as we head into the spring, sort of the cards will fall and Labour MPs will come to a decision about who is the best person to go into that contest. Because, of course, if they put two people up against Keir Starmer, what would inevitably happen is that if Keir Starmer stands against those two, you'd potentially split the alternative vote to the current Prime Minister, and Keir Starmer would stay in post, and that would be a disaster. So they need to be able to rally around one particular individual.
Wes Streeting also in the papers today over his handling of the resident doctors' strikes, set to go on strike from next Wednesday.
Yes.
He has put a new deal on the table, hasn't
Yes.
he? Whether or not they take it is another question, isn't it?
It doesn't include increasing the cash, the pay, but of course there are various offers to the BMA there around trying to reduce the cost of training, trying to prioritise British medics over foreign trainee doctors. I think I've got a lot of sympathy, not just for the government on this, for Wes Streeting on this in trying to sort this out, but also I think the way that the BMA resident doctors are behaving by just having the vote on Monday, strike action on Wednesday. I have sympathy for all of those other members within the NHS who want to plan their Christmas
and are dealing with the super flu.
And are dealing with the super flu. You've got a spike, which is you can see it in the papers today, is affecting children in to a significant extent, and it just feels like the way that this is being timed and the way that the BMA is dangling that vote on Monday ahead of strike action, we know inevitably they'll probably vote for it, is designed to cause maximum damage and maximum disruption at a time when we all need the NHS to get back on its feet. We've had waiting lists of 7 million, and to turn it around, it's not going to be possible to do it if the BMA continues to take strike action, on the back of having got a 29% pay rise when Labour came into to power. And if Wes Streeting looks foolish for something, then I think he'll probably look foolish for having given that pay rise so quickly without attaching any strings. And then suddenly, surprise, surprise, we're in the same situation now that we were when the Conservatives were in power.
Yeah. All right, Theo, for now, thanks very much indeed.
Join the community and be part of our shows by becoming a friend of GB News. Get a direct line to join the conversations that you hear us talking about every day in our programmes by commenting on Your Say and voting in You Decide polls. Access opinion, analysis and behind-the-scenes videos as we share more from the stories that you see
on TV and radio.
Plus, watch our shows live and on catch-up anywhere, anytime. If you love our channel, become a friend of GB News for free by scanning the QR code or going to gbnews.com/friend. Don't just watch our programmes, come and be a part of them.